All right, let's jump right in. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful mental model from Fred Pillard's book, How to Be Strategic. It's all about how we tackle our biggest, messiest problems. And it comes down to a simple but profound idea. When it comes to finding a great answer, there isn't just one path, there are four. So let me ask you this. When you are staring down a massive, uncertain challenge at work, what's your go-to move? Do you immediately start digging for data? Do you grab a whiteboard and start brainstorming? Or do you find the nearest expert? Your answer probably reveals a lot about your default problem-solving style. And today, we're going to figure out if it's the right one for the job. Okay, so take a look at this map. This basically illustrates every problem-solving journey you have ever been on. You always start in that bottom left corner in the chaos of what we call complexity. And the goal? It's to get to the top right, to a single powerful answer that gives you and everyone else total conviction. The real question is, what path do you take to get there? Now, most of us, without even realizing it, fall back on one of three common routes. You might be an expert, you might be an analyst, or you might be a creative. Each of these paths has its own unique shape on our map, and each one has its strengths. But more importantly, each one has a critical, fatal weakness. So let's break them down. First up, we've got the expert. Their path looks like a straight, diagonal staircase. And why is that? Well, it's because the expert already knows the answer, or at least they know the exact steps to get there. They give you a clear work plan right from day one and just execute. It's a direct shot from complexity to conviction. Now, this staircase approach is absolutely perfect for problems that have been solved a million times before. Think about a surgeon performing a routine operation. But here's the catch. What happens when you face something totally new, a challenge you've never, ever seen before? Well, that staircase just collapses because you can't build a step-by-step plan when you don't even know the destination. All right, next up we have the analyst's route, the submarine. This approach stays low, kind of chugging along horizontally across the map. The whole idea is to gather a massive amount of data first, slice it and dice it in a dozen different ways, and only then, after a long, deep dive, do you surface with a conclusion. It's all about letting the data show you the way. This method is fantastic when you're swimming in historical data. But what about strategic problems? The ones that are all about the future. By definition, the future has zero data. So if you're trying to invent something brand new or predict a future market, well, that submarine is just stuck on the ocean floor. And that brings us to route number 3, the creative's helicopter. Now this path, it just shoots straight up. Instead of getting bogged down in data, the creative mind immediately comes up with 3, 4, maybe 5 possible solutions. They get clarity on the options really fast, and then they spend the rest of their time just refining and picking the best one. The helicopter is awesome for speed and pure creativity, but, and this is a big but, it has a huge blind spot. It can be really light on data. And this makes it super vulnerable to what's called the hippo curse, the highest paid person's opinion. See, when there's no data to prove an idea is bad, the most senior person's favorite option often wins, whether it's actually the best one or not. Okay, so let's recap. The expert's staircase fails with novelty. The analyst's submarine is useless without data, and the creative's helicopter can fail without proof. So, how in the world are we supposed to solve truly strategic problems? Well, this is where our fourth route comes in, and trust me, it's the most powerful of them all. And here it is, the roller coaster of strategic thinking. Just look at the path it takes. It's not some straight line, right? It's this dynamic journey that cleverly combines the best of the other routes. But, and this is the key part, it avoids their fatal flaws. This is the mental model for tackling the great unknown. The secret sauce is right here in this simple formula. Being truly strategic isn't about being one or the other, it's a combination. But what is absolutely critical is the order. To be strategic, you must be creative first, and only then be analytical. So here's how it plays out. You start by going up, just like the helicopter, to generate a bunch of creative options. But then, instead of just sitting around debating them, you go down, like the submarine, and you start testing those ideas with real data to see which ones actually survive contact with reality. It's creative first, then ruthless validation. So, how do you actually ride this thing? It might look a little complicated, but it's not. The entire journey breaks down into 3 super simple, really memorable phases. Just remember this mantra: up, down, push. That's it. First, you go up to generate ideas. Then you go down to test those ideas and kill off the weak ones. And finally, you push to get your single best proven solution over the finish line. Up, down, push. Simple. Let's talk about the UP phase. This is all about what we call divergent thinking. You are not looking for the right answer here. Nope. Your only job is to achieve clarity by mapping out the entire landscape of possibilities. You want to structure that chaos and say, okay, here are the 3 potential paths we could take. Then you hit the down phase. This is where the tough analytical work kicks in. Your goal here is to find certainty. You take all those creative ideas from the up phase and you basically try to break them. You smash them against the harsh reality of data, and you are ruthless about eliminating the ones that just don't hold up. Finally, you're left with your one surviving idea, the one that made it through that data gauntlet. The goal of the push phase is to build conviction. And listen, this isn't just about dumping a bunch of facts on a slide. It's about packaging your proven solution into a story so compelling that your boss, your clients, your whole team, they can't help but get on board. And this just puts it all together beautifully. You ride the roller coaster up to gain clarity on all your options, you go down to find certainty through hard data, and then you push forward to build conviction in that final answer. It's an elegant, powerful, and totally repeatable process. Okay, so this is a really cool model, right? But why does it actually matter to you? When do you need to pull this specific tool out of your toolbox? Well, the short answer is when the stakes are at their absolute highest. A problem is what we call truly strategic when it looks like this. It's big, it's way out in the future, and it's never been done before. There's almost no data, but the answer can't just be someone's opinion. It needs real proof to convince people. For these kinds of monster challenges, the default routes just fall apart. The roller coaster isn't just a better way. A lot of the time, it's the only way. So I'll leave you with this question. Think about the biggest, messiest, hairiest challenge on your plate right now. Now look at our map. Which route are you on? Are you on the staircase, just hoping your expertise is going to be enough? Are you stuck deep down in the submarine, waiting for data that's never going to show up? Or maybe you're flying high in the helicopter, armed with great ideas but zero proof. If that sounds familiar, isn't it time to get on the roller coaster?